Welcome to Care Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Childcare leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next childcare rockstar. Now, let's go. Welcome back to the show, everybody. It's Kris Murray here in the podcast chair, and this is my first podcast since we've gone to the multi-audio video format that I'm doing by myself as my own guest. Occasionally I do these, and I do a deep dive on a specific topic that I'm hearing about that you guys need help with, and today is no different. It's episode 77, the 4 steps to eliminate the loop of overwhelm in your life. And that is today's topic here at Care Rockstar Radio. Today's episode is sponsored in part by Honest Buck Accounting. Is the financial side of your business taking you away from what you love about your business? Honest Buck frees you up to get you back to the business you love and grow it. Honest Buck Accounting is your full-service accounting partner. From payroll to forecasting, from budgeting to tax preparation, they offer a variety of services to meet your early childhood business needs as it grows. Their experienced team comes alongside your business to free you up and help you thrive. And to show their support of early childhood businesses, they are awarding a deserving center or school a $1,000 scholarship. Visit honestbuck.com/Kris Murray to register your center to win and learn more. That's honestbuck.com/Kris Murray. So I am here in my new home office, and we moved to my dream home on the river, which is quite significant. I have told this story just a couple times to clients. We are coming off the back of a 3-day intensive virtual mastermind meeting and conference for our Academy members, which we just held last weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And during my Thursday Empire group, I shared that even though 2020 has been a bit of a pain of a year, and I say that tongue in cheek, it's been an incredible year for me personally. And I don't know why this is kind of all happening in a weird, amazing storm of accomplishment. But what's happened is that the building blocks that I've been working on step by step by step over the last decade in this business have finally come to fruition here in 2020. And so here I sit in my new home office with my very cool blue accent wall behind me that I did not paint. We moved right in, and this is the home where my fiance, Charlie, and I have decided to finally move in together after almost 5 years of dating with our 4 teenagers. And so we have a just turned 18-year-old. My son Owen turned 18 yesterday, a 17-year-old, and 2 15-year-olds. So it's quite something, 3 boys and 1 girl combined. And I'm feeling very blessed about it and very, very excited to be engaged to Charlie and just in this house that I've been dreaming about for about 11 years. This house has been on my dream list, and I've finally manifested it to come true. And so in addition to this home, this beautiful luxury home on the river, to marrying my dream man and driving my business towards the $5 million mark, learning how to throw a pot, seeing my son graduate from high school, and several other dreams that were on my dream book in my dream journal written down and have been for years. Taking the entire family on the Grand Canyon is also on that list. And we are leaving in less than 48 hours from right now, and we will be on the river for 2 weeks, and you will not hear me. So I've been doing crazy prep with so many podcast episodes and so much work and so many projects that I'm trying to get done so that I can actually get on the river and be unplugged for 2 weeks. And it's happening. So that's very, very exciting. If you've never rafted the Grand Canyon, I've done it once back in 99. So it's been 21 years. It's an incredible experience. And so I just would say, if you ever get the chance to do it, absolutely do it, make it happen, because having 2 weeks plus, and if you go on a private trip, you can spend up to 3 weeks, taking your time and enjoying this amazing part of our planet, doing side hikes and experiencing the wildlife and the energy down there is just an incredible thing that you will never forget for the rest of your life. And so I feel very blessed to have done it once, and very blessed to be able to take my kids and my fiance and his kids, and the 6 of us are going to go, and that it's a COVID-free trip. The National Park Service is allowing the rivers to stay open, and they've had no issues with COVID on the river because we're outside the whole time. And so just knock on wood that everything goes well for us, and I'm pretty sure it will, but as long as we stay in the boat. So hold on and stay in the boat. That's my theme over the next couple of weeks. So I want to tell you before I dig into the content. So today's talk is the 4 steps to eliminating or getting out of the overwhelm loop. And I'm going to tell you what I mean about the overwhelm loop. And when I describe it, you'll know if you're in it or not. And give you the 4 key steps for how to shift out of it and what you should be focused on right now during this season here in 2020. And you could apply this to any time in your life. It doesn't have to be a COVID related concept. So if you find strategies, and it's my deep desire that you do in the next half hour as I teach this topic, just bookmark it for yourself, because there will be times in your life that you find yourself back in this spot, and this reteaching or re-listening of this path will help you as a roadmap as you further your journey as an entrepreneurial childcare owner or leader. Okay. So before we dig in to the overwhelm loop, I want to make sure that you know about something very, very special that I'm doing right when I get off the river. It's called the 5-day Crush Your Fall Enrollment Challenge. I'm so excited. This is my very first big 5-day challenge that I have created for you, for the early learning industry. And whether you're a director, an owner-director, an owner of multiple sites, thinking about starting a childcare center, or a home daycare provider who maybe wants to start a center someday or not, you might find yourself in this situation right now that you are looking for new ways to get excited about your business, and joining a 5-day challenge is a great, fun way to get a quick hit of content, challenge yourself to meet specific goals and micro challenges every day. It's only 5 days. And it's my first ever 5-day challenge. And we're going to be doing amazing prizes, lots of fun, great community. You're going to be networking and making friends through our private Facebook group. And the challenge is going to be held just like that through a private Facebook group. And so once you join the challenge, you'll get hooked up into the Facebook group, and I'll be there live with you privately and teaching just our challenge participants for a whole week. It's a 5-day challenge, but there will be bonus training at the beginning and the end. So it's daily trainings, it's nuts and bolts concepts, it's all new stuff. It's bonus trainings on how you can add more offerings into your preschool for new streams of revenue during this COVID season, during this very challenging time. So even if you're maxed on the number of children that you can put into your rooms, like the rule of 10 and so forth, we're going to give you ways that you can creatively add more children in to those facilities, or ways that you can do online preschool very easily, ways that exactly how you can add a kindergarten program and or elementary enrichment into your program, so that you can get additional streams of revenue serving school agers or more kids, so that you can maximize your revenue during this very difficult season. So 5-day Crush Your Fall Enrollment Challenge with me, Kris Murray. Let's go. You can learn more. It's just launching now as you're listening to this podcast live. And the challenge is going to run from Monday, August 3rd. That's when we start. And that's also the final day to join me and jump into this challenge. And it's only $17, guys. That's the big news. It's $17. It's the only time I've ever done live training for a chunk of time like this for such a low fee. And we're pricing it that way because we want to make it extra enticing and a no-brainer for every single person listening to this podcast on the planet and all their friends to join me on this challenge. So go to childcaresuccess.com and click at the banner at the top of the page, and you'll jump into the challenge with me for $17. Okay, so that's your homework. Childcaresuccess.com. Let's go. Let's go get it. So this closes down on August 3rd. And so if you're listening to this podcast episode after the fact, that's fine, because we're hoping that we're going to have a lot of fun and success with this challenge, and we're going to keep doing them. So just stay plugged into me at childcaresuccess.com and the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/childcarebusiness. I want you to like that page on Facebook so you'll always get notifications instantly of when I'm live and when I'm promoting stuff and when I'm sharing content and when I'm doing trainings and I'm doing case studies. And we do a lot of content blogging and lives there at facebook.com/childcarebusiness. All right. So that's the challenge. Let's talk about content. So this talk is for you if you are finding yourself in overwhelm and you can't work on your business. You're just literally surviving on the day-to-day, the emergencies that are being thrown at you. And I'm going to describe what might be going on for you if that is true. It's about running your business so that your business doesn't run you. So if this sounds familiar or is true for you right now, you need this. So listen up. If you work all weekend to get caught up on little tasks so you can come in and rock on Monday, then you step into your school or your office and you immediately get hit by 17 mini crises that people want you to solve and manage. You fight fires all day. You literally get nothing done that you wanted to get done on your to-do list that you were so excited about on Sunday night. You leave drained and exhausted, and you vow to do better tomorrow. If that's happening for you in any form or fashion, this session is for you. And this is very common. This happens to all of us as entrepreneurs and business owners and directors. Okay, directors have so much on their plate. You're caught in a loop of overwhelm because you don't have enough time to delegate. When you're in firefighting mode and you have no one to delegate to, or your team is maxed, you might feel guilty about handing them more to do, or they might push back at you and say, really? And you have no free cash flow potentially during this very limited enrollment time if you're down to groups of 10, or God forbid you get closed again by your state, to invest to solve the problem. So the normal path to getting out of overwhelm is to build out your team and scale your business, right? Well, if you don't have any free cash flow and your people are maxed and your calendar is maxed, what do you do? And so I've got people coming to me every day going, Kris, what do I do? I'm a hot mess. I'm the hot mess express on the calendar. So we need you to recommit yourself to your business and know that this is actually possible to solve. So that's the first thing. So there's a recommitment that I'm going to ask you to make. And once you start listening to this roadmap of the 4 things that you need to get out of the loop of overwhelm, I'm hoping that you'll be able to jump in and make that commitment to yourself and your business. It's not to me. I'm not asking for a commitment. I'm asking for you to commit to you, to your people, to the children you serve and your families. You must do this if you want to get out of the hot mess express and shift things for yourself so that you're in a place where panic subsides, peace of mind sets in, and you have a path to success. So we got to get you out of your own way first. So because you can't show up for your business and really drive it forward as a leader if you're just fighting fires all day. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. Okay. So there's four things you can do. The first thing, you might want to write these down, assuming you're not driving. The first thing that you must do, or that we recommend that you do, my coaches and I, is you have to change your mindset and your beliefs. So you've got to really have some faith that this can work for you. And it's not just, it works for everybody else, but it can't work for me. So I hope you know that you've got what it takes inside you to fix this problem. And I'm here to boost up your confidence and tell you that you're a wonderful, loving person who deserves success, money, and happiness. Okay. So if you've got some self-worth stuff going on, that's a long-term journey. And I want you to be real honest with yourself. And some of those self-worth components, like guilt, self-loathing, shame, procrastination, perfectionism, those mindset patterns, thinking negatively about yourself and your business, will keep you stuck. And so what I'm working with you on right now at this moment is to say, hey, look at yourself in the mirror and really assess where your mindset is at. And you've got to start practicing gratitude. You've got to start showing up with positivity in your life and having faith that things can turn around. You've got all the tools and the resources and the stuff that you need. It's either inside of you, or it's on this podcast, or it's in our community, in our tribe. We are there for you. I'm hoping that you've got mentors and coaches. And if not, we would love to be that for you if you're not working with us yet. But you don't need any of that. Really, you just need a belief right now. I just want you to thing number one is believe and challenge those negative or self-limiting beliefs and some of that emotional stuff that you might be carrying. See if you can challenge that and work on that a little bit. Okay. So this is some self-assessment to be doing. Maybe you're driving, listening to this, and you can reflect. Maybe even hit the pause button on the podcast and reflect a little bit. So that's thing number one. Thing number two is a focus on getting and keeping clients, an intense focus on getting and keeping clients. Are you intensely focused on it? Are you taking advantage or just taking for granted the fact that you have a wait list of people that are sitting there paying you as reduction in tuition because they're waiting to be able to come in the fall, and you're assuming they're going to stay with you? Are you really reaching out and tightening that loyalty fence with those clients? Are you marketing hard? Most of our clients in the academy have doubled down on their Facebook ads. They're marketing harder today than ever. So we are going to teach you in this challenge. If you're not with me yet in the academy, we're going to teach you as a little microcosm training inside of the $17 5-day Crush Your Enrollment challenge. What is our process for getting and keeping clients, for enrollment, for enrolling to a full wait list. And once you are maxed on that, what are other streams of revenue you can add in, which I talked about earlier. Okay. So an intense focus, and that means building assets. And you've heard me talk about assets before. In a prior podcast where it was just me doing a training, I talk about the assets and the different levels of your journey, growth, freedom, and empire, and how we want you to focus first on your mindset, because a positive mindset feeds everything. And then we want you to build out these growth level assets. So these are things like an enrollment tracking system and a phone script that works really, really well to break down barriers with callers and build trust. with prospective parents almost immediately. It's amazing to watch it in action, to watch the before and after. It goes from a D phone call to an A++ phone call. And imagine the parent on the other line experiencing that level, that high level of quality and customer service and care. So beautiful. So a great phone script, a tour system and script, an e-packet. You've heard me talk about those before. A follow-up system after they tour, because some people just need a little extra time to make that decision. You got to follow up with them. A monthly financial statement that you're getting regularly, so you're keeping track of your money. So those are all things that you need on the revenue side of the house, which is an intensive focus on getting and keeping clients. So that's thing number 2 on the 4 steps to get out of the overwhelm loop. So now I've talked about beliefs and mindset, and I've talked about enrollment building assets and marketing in your program to keep those leads coming so you can stay full. And we've got people, you've heard Alvin Ayusa on a prior episode talking about his COVID-related assets. He's taken every single one of these assets I'm talking about and added in a COVID layer to the communication program or element of that asset, so that he's sharing with people how his program is different and better than the ones down the street, and what he's doing to deal with health and safety concerns and fears. And so when you start hitting those objections through your marketing, your ads, your e-packets, your website, all of those things, you have an automated process for staying fully enrolled with a wait list. And that's what I want you to build out over time. But you might be going, well, but I'm in overwhelm. Like, how am I going to step out of the overwhelm loop and actually have a focus on getting and keeping clients? So let me work with you on the third thing. So the third thing is money management. So let me actually hop to the fourth thing, because I know what you're thinking is, but this is about time. This isn't necessarily about money. So let me answer that. So the fourth thing, third thing's money management. We'll come back to that. The fourth thing is calendar management. So to get out of the overwhelm loop, you've got to reclaim your calendar. You've got to have a system for tracking your time and just setting priorities so that you know when you come into your workspace on a Monday morning, you have a very blocked out calendar and your team has access to it. So everybody knows if your name is Jane, what is Jane working on today? And that she's the director, and here are her prioritized projects. And we have a calendar that's beautifully blocked out. And so let me just give you a quick system for what I've seen and how this is done. So at its very simplest, I've seen a director take her daily schedule and write it out on a small whiteboard. And then she puts it in her window so that everybody who's walking by can see what's going on. That you can combine that with a red, yellow, green system on your door, where you have, if you're on red, here's the rules around red, which is not to be interrupted unless somebody's bleeding or licensing is at the door. If you're on yellow, it's limited interruptions. And if you're on green, it means you're open door. So when you combine the little calendar that's written out that shows to your parents and your teachers when you have open office hours and when your head's down working and you have coverage for the phone, you will be amazed at what you can get done. So it just starts with getting a handle and a commitment on who are the time robbers in my life? Where are the time vampires in my life, in my day? Just map out a day. Go in and just act as if this is today. You're going to measure how many people interrupted me, who were the interrupters, what were they interrupting me about. So now you're tracking your time for a typical day or week. You could do this for a whole week. I've had actually clients do this where they wrote down on a pad of paper how many hours they spent in productive work, how many hours they spent fighting fires, and who were the interrupters. And at the end of the week, they sat down with their team and they said, all right, here's the data. I've tracked it for a week. And Nancy, you've interrupted me 37 times. So how do you guys expect me to run this program elegantly and professionally with focus when we can't stop and manage the interruptions? So it's you committing, which is why we started with the commitment and the belief, to doing things differently, using the tools I'm giving you, okay? So you start really getting clarity by assessing what's going on and looking for the root causes of the interruptions and the overwhelm. And then you can start attacking those with solutions and get your team to help you. So that's calendar management, but it's intensive and focused, intentional calendar time blocking. So what I do is right now, especially getting ready to go on vacation, I don't have a spare half hour blocked, an open half hour on my time right now. It's all blocked to priorities of exactly what I need to get done project wise before I get on the river. And if I don't do that, my team is going to be left in a lurch because they're going to be like, darn it, I needed to ask Kris 17 things and now she's on the river for 2 weeks. And so that work's just not going to get done. So for me to be able to disconnect fully from the world with no devices, guys, for 2 weeks, I have to intentionally plan everything I need. I mean, I'm running a challenge 2 days after I get off the river. How am I doing that? And you can model this, is giving my team everything they need from me structurally. I met with them yesterday for 90 minutes. I know my exact list of my to-dos. I'm going to hand them my to-dos tomorrow. I'm going to get on the river on Friday. When I get off the river, I'm jumping right into this challenge with you. And you'll be listening to this podcast episode 2 weeks from now. So being organized and just using the time blocking. Time blocking is simply you take your to-do list. First, you delegate everything off your to-do list that you can to team members. And then what's ever left that you have to do, because it requires your brilliance, you block in by priority. And there's going to be things you say no to right now. This is a not right now item. You give yourself the freedom to do that. And then you block those things in. You estimate that this project is going to take me 4 hours to get ready for my licensing check next month. And I'm going to go through my binders and I'm going to make sure that everything I have all my ducks in a row. And if I have any questions for my licensing rep, I'm going to reach out to her via email. And you block that into your calendar. So now you have a chunk of 4 focused hours on a Tuesday from 10 to 12 and 2:30 to 4:30. And now it's done. It's done. And you take that little time blocking, that, very simple calendar approach, you can write it on a little erasable whiteboard and you can put it out through the glass and people can see it, or on a whiteboard out in your hallway outside of your door. And you could say, every day from 9 to 9:30 is my greeting time. From 9:30 to 11 is my work heads down time. I'm on red during that time, red. And then I take a quick lunch. And then from 1 to 2 is my open office time. And I handle any team, staff, one-on-ones that need to be addressed. Any questions, you guys can come in. It's during nap time. And I return the phone calls to any parents that have needed me during that time. That's it. It's very simple. So if you take that simplicity, and I know it's not always that simple because things are crazy in a childcare environment a lot of times, but really calmly and confidently managing your calendar with time blocks, with assessments of who the interrupters are, who are your time vampires, and really managing those out of your life. Okay. And you must have coverage for the phone for at least 70% of your day. So a really good front desk person who can use a phone script and is a people person is a must if you don't have that person. So you might be rearranging some of your talent right now. You might be going, these folks were kind of C or D players. They're not coming back. I'm going to take this opportunity to rearrange my staff model and shift some admin positions in different ways Look for unique brilliances. Ask people what they love working on most, what energizes them, and what de-energizes them. So those are things that you can do to start getting people in the right person, right seats on the bus. And that will help you with this as well. Okay. So hopefully that will help. Those strategies will help you with calendar management. Then backing up one is money management. And looking at your money management, you must be getting monthly financial statements on time so you understand your cash flow during this very stressful time. You must have your eye on cash, on getting your PPP forgiveness if you can, on getting grants and loans to the highest level so you can survive and thrive out of this thing. You must know your profit margin. Are you profitable? How much money are you losing right now? Know your break-even numbers. How many children does it take in a non-COVID season for you to go from red to black? How many children? Is it the child number 52 that typically takes you there? How many kids do you need, or what percentage of full capacity do you need to be at break-even to cover all your expenses or your fixed expenses? Okay, so those are the kinds of, that's the data, that's the money management piece. That's thing number 3. Because cash flow is the oxygen that runs your business. And without that cash flow, your business will die. Okay. So again, to summarize, thing 1 is the belief system, the belief and the faith that you can do this, and you're going to approach your business differently with these sets of tools I'm giving you. And you're going to actually implement this stuff and not just listen to it. You're going to action it as fast as possible. Okay. Number 2 is a focus on getting and keeping customers, getting and keeping clients, kids in the door who stay enrolled, and marketing, double down on your marketing. It doesn't have to cost a lot, but you could be doing inexpensive marketing and boosting Facebook posts and some Facebook ads, etc. Email blasting is free. Okay, so reaching out and doing some promotions and stuff of that nature. Number 3 is money management, really understanding your finances and not having a head in the sand mentality, which many childcare leaders do. And then 4 is calendar management. So you might be going, well, Kris, none of those things are related necessarily to the children. And I would say to you, they all indirectly affect the quality of your program, because if you can't get off the hot mess express, you ain't gonna be able to put any energy into the curriculum side of your business, into training teachers, into onboarding great team members, into core value development and cultural and leadership components. You're going to be exhausted. So you got to have these 4 key components to get you out of the overwhelm loop, focusing on your business, not in it, not fighting fires. You are paid higher than a firefighter, I will hope. Okay. That is not your best brilliant work, is fighting fires, and it's exhausting and draining. So I gotta pull you out of that and ask you to step up. Okay. So arm yourself with data and confidence. You got this. You got this. And we are here to continually help you with it. If you need another podcast to listen to that's related, I would send you to the one with Michelle Smith Lank. And I don't have the number in front of me right at this moment. I might be able to pull it up while we're talking. The episode with Michelle Smith Lank is excellent. It talks all about implementation and how she, as a director owner, came back from her first summit with a list of like 73 things, and she just started implementing with her team. Boom, 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 boom. And a year later, her business looked completely different. Okay. So let me pull that up and see if I can find that number. And there's lots of other gems throughout the podcast, but that one comes to mind in particular. So with that, I want to just remind you, I think it's episode 39 is Michelle Smith Lank, I think, right in there. This is episode 77, by the way, which is very cool because my best-selling book, I've written 3 books and co-written a 4th. And my top seller ever is the 77 Strategies to Grow Your Early Childhood Program. It's with the green cover. I would have a picture right now for you, but all of my books are still packed because I just moved. Green cover, little girl with the plant on the cover. And it's the 77 best strategies. And this is episode 77, y'all. So that's kind of cool for the podcast. And I'm enjoying teaching you this very, very, very rich, powerful content here on episode 77. So if you don't have a copy of my 77 book, you might want to go grab one. And you can do that at my website, childcaresuccess.com or Amazon. So with that, I want to give you a final reminder to join me right now, today, the day this podcast is releasing. We are open for enrollment in our Crush Your Fall Enrollment Challenge. For $17, please come join me for 5+ days of amazing training. It's my first ever 5-day super fun challenge. All my energy is going to go into it. Daily trainings, nuts and bolts strategies, what to do on different issues that you're having, helping you live, Q&A, and access to me and my team, bonus trainings, new streams of revenue. Learn more at childcaresuccess.com. The 5-day Crush Your Fall Enrollment Challenge with Kris Murray. We start on Monday, August 3rd. And that is the final day for you to enroll. So if you don't get in by midnight on August 3rd, you'll have to wait until the next challenge. But I hope that you join me on this one because this is going to be just a really amazing ride. Super, super fun. And having been my first one, I'm going to give it 110% energy, which I always do, but I'm just excited. I'm obviously very excited. All right. So I want you to write down your action steps that you learned from this session, from this training. Okay. What was a takeaway about belief and mindset? What was a takeaway about your intensive focus on getting and keeping clients and enrollment ideas? And what was a takeaway on finances? What are you going to do differently to get more clarity around where your money is? And then finally, calendar management. Come on, you guys, let's go from mess to success on this thing. I don't want you to stay on the hot mess express, okay? There's nothing that drives me more nuts than when people have a jacked up calendar and they have a jacked up approach to their calendar. It's so easy if you make a commitment to your calendar to staying organized is just get Google Calendar or just get Outlook and stick to it. Come on. It's the basics of being a good entrepreneur and a good business leader is to be driven by good calendar management. Okay. And if it's not your gift, get a personal assistant or get a part-time virtual assistant and get them to help you for $10, $12 an hour on your calendaring. Okay. You might be able to find a mom who wants to work part-time from a home office and help you be a virtual assistant. And that doesn't take a lot of money. Okay. But there is help out there for you, but you just have to reach out and go grab that help and start. Just start. Baby steps, guys. Okay. All right. This has been episode 77. I've had a really good time teaching this. I hope that you have loved it or at least gotten a really good amount of value from it. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast and tuning in to me every week. We are here on all the places where you listen to podcasts as well as on YouTube. And you can check out our YouTube channel if you're listening to this on a regular audio format. You might enjoy the video version because you can watch me teaching and watch me do interviews of our podcast guests, which is super, super fun. So with that, I want to just say God bless. Take care. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time. And it's been a pleasure spending time with you here at Care Rockstar Radio. Now go after it. Go get it. All right. Talk to you soon. See you on the challenge. Okay. Bye. I hope you liked this episode of Care Rockstar Radio. If you did, please share it with someone you know and help spread the word to your friends in our industry and on social media.